Hey there, and welcome back to this random ass SL1 playthrough of Dark Souls 3. Last time we went through Iratil and got murdered by Pontiff Sullivan a couple of times, and today we're going to go ahead and suffer through the Iratil dungeons instead, so fun times await us ahead. So I'm just going to start off by checking out all these prison cells and picking the stuff inside of them, including this large titanite shard over there. And basically I'm just going to take my time to check them all out. This door is locked, so whatever is over there I can't pick it up, and there's nothing over here. So, well, I guess it's time we move on with the stage and face off against the first enemies. And one of the worst in the game, it's the jailers, but you don't get to see why they're so bad right now. But anyway, just move on a little farther, and there's this item over here, but there's this guy who tries to shove you down if you go ahead and pick it up, but, well, it's just a fading soul anyway, so who cares. A little further ahead is this other large titanite shard with this guy that's free, and there's also a jailer down there, so I have a surprise waiting for him. So after healing, make sure you drop down on his head with a plunge attack to pretty much kill him outright, and now there's all these freaking cages over here, so I'm going to try to kill them, and I'm going to suck terribly at it, but eventually I do go ahead and kill one of them. And over here is this guy in this corner, as well as these souls over here, so that's always nice. Now I'm going to cross this bridge to get on the other side of the room, because you can't do that from down there, you have to go back up basically. So here's another jailer, but I'm just going to run up to him and smack him in the face with my sword, and afterwards pick up this large titanite shard in this cell and this pale pine resin on the way. And after trying to hit this wall for some reason, I'm going to get lost and go back the wrong way before finally going over here and killing this malformed baby thing. So opening up the door to move on now, and I'm going to head out of the room and also open this door, which is just a slight shortcut, but it's better than nothing. Pick up the jailbreaker's key, which can be used to open some of the doors, and also go ahead and do a plunge attack on this guy too. And after killing him, there's going to be two more jailers, and they suck, so I'm going to try to hit this one, but I'm going to screw up and end up hitting the wall instead. So I get hit and I just retreat back up the stairs and wait for them to come after me, so try to kill this one, but then the other one comes, so I'm going to just kill this one while the other one is doing whatever, and I'm going to go ahead and kill the second one as well. So as you can see, my health bar now is tiny, and that's because that's what the jailers do. They shrink your health bar, so you have to wait a while until it starts growing back up before you can heal yourself properly, and it's a real pain in the ass, which is why they suck, but after a little bit it eventually comes back up, and now you can heal all the way back to full health. You can also come over here to kill this other malformed baby and pick up this simple gem, which I'm not gonna use. So a little further ahead is this titanite bug, and make sure you get stabbed by the malformed baby on the way to killing it. So afterwards you can go ahead and kill it, and it'll give you a titanite scale, and I'm also going to murder this baby just because he's annoying. And over here is these two homeward bones, so those are always nice, and a little while later is this chest, but it's not a chest, it's actually a mimic. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a fight with this mimic, as I always do, but there's actually a good reason to do so this time, because this mimic gives you something that's actually pretty important. So after an easy fight, he dies and he gives you an Estus shard. And after killing all these villagers and picking these souls, I'm going to go ahead and start wandering around before finally figuring out where I'm supposed to go and dropping down this hole. And there's a titanite bug over there, so I'm going to stab it and try to avoid getting murdered by the giant. So he gives you a titanite chunk, and avoid the giant to make sure you don't die, and open the door so you can head inside and wait until the giant comes down. After a bit, the giant calms down and you're free to head out the door, and after taking a brief look around to see if there was anything worthwhile to do, I'm going to go ahead and slap the giant's arm to wake him up so I can go ahead and pick up this item over here. But first the giant is going to try to crush me, so I'm going to dodge that and pick up the souls and climb up the ladder so I can head back to where I was before, and I'm going to swap out the Pontiff's ring for the cat's ring so I can drop down the hole once again without taking any damage. And I can also drop down here to actually move on with the level this time. So here's where you actually go to progress, and there's this item over here which is just a pickaxe, so I have no reason to pick it up, but I do because it's in the way, and I just like to collect everything because that's the kind of person I am. So after killing a bunch of rats, I'm going to come over here and drop down there, where there are more rats awaiting me, but I'm not going to fight them quite yet because first things first, I'm going to run into this door and take this elevator over here, which will take you back to a door that will give you a shortcut all the way to the first bonfire of the stage, so that's going to be real nice. So there you go, the elevator has reached its destination, and over here is this door which you can open to the first bonfire. So I'm going to rest here because I need to refill my Estus, and afterwards I'm going to head straight back down. And I'm going to start killing a bunch of rats, and I'm also going to use the charcoal pine resin to increase my damage because I'm about to pick a fight with the giant, because he drops something that I really want, but you also have to handle all the rats while you're messing around, so I try to keep my health at max so I can deal more damage and survive hits from the giant, but those freaking rats keep bothering me, so it turns out it didn't work that well, but I'm just going to go ahead and slap the giant anyway and get slapped by some rats all over the place. So after getting smacked in the face by a rat, I'm going to go ahead and kill him, and then the giant is going to slap me, and somehow I managed to survive with just about 1 HP, so I'm going to try to heal, but then this rat is going to come and annoy me, so I'm going to kill him and heal again back to full health, and I'm going to start smacking away at the giant's ankle now that there's no rats around anymore. Now after his long ass attack, I'm going to get hit by a rat again, but after that there aren't really any more rats for now, so I'm just going to kill the giant, and then I'm going to use this opportunity to kill a whole bunch of rats because God knows I hate them. Also, the giant drops a titanite chunk. Here's a spell and a large titanite shard too. So after killing one more rat, I'm going to go ahead and talk to Sigurd over here real quick, even though there's not really any reason to do so, but I was here, I figured I might as well. So he has been talked, and now I'm going to leave him be with his business, whatever it is, all in that cage, and I'm going to go ahead and keep going now, pick up this large titanite shard too. So after killing a couple more rats, I come over here where there's this mimic waiting for me, and he doesn't drop anything interesting, but he did give me the symbol of avarice, so that's kind of cool. A little further ahead is this chest, which is actually a mimic, and this chest, which is not a mimic, which contains a key. So I'm going to pick that up, and now there's going to be a crap ton of basilisks that spawn, and I'm going to try and kill them, and well, they were being dicks, as you'll see soon enough. So I started trying to kill them, but instead of letting me combo them, they would always just jump immediately after getting it once, so that means I didn't have time to kill them, and there was a lot more gas around all over the place, so that made things a whole heck of a lot harder. So I tried to maneuver around them, but eventually I ended up getting stuck here, so I fell down the stairs and I tried to make it to the other side, but I ended up dying instead. So I ended up saying screw it, and I figured I would just kill the mimic instead, so I went ahead and got started with 2 charge attacks, and this guy is one of those weird ones who get down on all fours, and he managed to grab me, and well, that was the end of that, so that was one hell of an attempt. So after coming back and picking up my souls, I went ahead and had another shot at it because, well, I wanted to kill him because he killed me before, so of course I had to take my revenge. After dodging 2 grabs, I went ahead and slapped him a couple of times, and that was the end of that. I also killed this basilisk, and I went about and started trying to kill all of the others, and it was an absolute mess, as you'll see soon enough. So I just started spewing gas all over the place, and after backing away a little to make myself some space, I went back in and started attacking them again, and I missed a whole lot of attacks against this guy. And I eventually decided I was going to climb up the stairs and pick up the reward from the mimic, which is the dark clutch ring, so completely pointless, but oh well. And here's where things started to get kind of problematic, because I got a whole lot of curse there, and so did here. So there was a lot of gas, but I somehow managed to invincibility for him all the way through it, right as I ran out of stamina. And afterwards it was easy enough, there was only one left, so I just waited for him to get done spewing all his gas up there and come to me, so I can go ahead and kill him, and that was the end of that. After that whole mess, I went ahead and killed 2 rats before making my way on over to this dung pie over here. And then I opened this door, which eventually led me to the next of the stage, where I grabbed a large titanite shard and a dragon torso stone. And right over here is an elevator, which is actually a shortcut back to earlier in the level, so you'll get to see where that takes me soon enough. So it actually takes you to this item over here, which is some soul, and also back to the big room right at the beginning where there was a whole heck of a lot of jailers and those messed up babies as well. So take the elevator back down to get back to where you were, and while you're on the way you might as well drop over here to pick up this item, this lightning blade spell, which God knows I probably cannot use. In this room there's also the profane cold, which is kinda pointless, but I'm going to pick it up anyway because I can. This room also has a whole bunch of jailers and I want nothing to do with that, so I instead went over to this chest, which is actually a mimic, and after killing him he drops down and gives me the 2 titanite steels that he's holding on to, so that's going to be nice for something later on. And I'm going to open up this door to head inside this cell, and since there was a jailer who saw me, I'm going to go ahead and kill him before picking up these Zenthas ashes, as well as this right over here. The Dust Crown Ring. Also, this guy is going to shout, and that's going to attract the attention of all the jailers. So I'm going to patiently wait for them inside of the cell while they come over here, so I can lure them in one at a time and kill them as they come in. So there you go, there's number 1, so I'm going to go ahead and start slapping him. And after a while, there's going to be a couple more, including one that's going to kill me. So after making my way back, I'm going to die to them again, and afterwards I'm going to successfully manage to murder all of them, and that's going to leave me all the opportunities in the world to start pillaging everything they left behind, including this ember over here, as well as their pants, which I'm not going to pick up just yet. I'm going to instead pick up this armor set over here, so maybe I'll use it. So there you go, there's the jailer's pants, and there's another ember over here. After that is the end of the stage, so here's the beginning of the Profane Capital, but before you get to the first bonfire of the area, this gargoyle is going to come over and attack you, so I'm going to back off to give myself more room to fight it, and I'm going to try to get it to jump in the bottomless pit, but it's not going to, so I'm going to have to actually go ahead and fight it instead. So a little bit later in the fight, I end up dying like a total dumbass, so I'm going to have to make my way back. But since I didn't want to deal with that room with all the jailers again, I instead went ahead and tried to do dungeon skip, and I ended up failing miserably, but I came back for attempt number 2. It failed even worse somehow, so I made my way back and tried attempt number 3. Didn't work either. So eventually I just decided to say screw it, and I went back through all the jailers, and I eventually made my way to the gargoyle again, and after a long and boring fight against it, I eventually just decided I was going to go ahead and try to finish it off, so here I go, and there he goes. Now he's dead, so I can pick up this item over here, which is just some large souls, as well as the gargoyle spear, so that's cool, but I'd never be able to use it. So anyway, on we go for real now. So after dropping down these steps, I'm going to come over here to this ladder, and I'm going to start climbing it, because that's the way to progression actually. So it's quite long, but if you look around you can see an item over there, as well as a couple of paths you can possibly explore. So I'm going to go over here and pick up this item, which is an undead bone shard, as well as a gesture, so that's always cool. And I'm going to light the bonfire and rest at it, because, well, geez, that took forever. And I think that's going to be where I end it for today, so once again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, that's cool. If not, well, sorry, I tried my best. So before I leave you, I'm just going to flop on the ground. Anyway, thanks, bye.